I was very honored to have been invited to do another exhibition. And this time it was at the National Museum Soares dos Reis. And then I had to prepare. I have a little bit of a perfectionist streak, so I like to work really hard, and then I burn out, and then I rest for 2-3 months, and then I go back to action. I asked for permission to paint the Exiled, but I wanted to portray the feelings that go inside the head of someone that loses everything. And when you lose everything, you really lose everything, except one thing. There's only one thing you don't lose: your thoughts. And I've started to paint the thoughts that go inside the head of the Exiled. So on the next image, white marble, then black bronze. So there's already a dark version of the white marble, and the darkness intrigued me. And then I started painting this darkness at night. It was even darker. So, an image that used to be done with shades of white, light gray, medium gray, but mostly pale colors. But no, I chose instead to paint a much, much darker, heavier, deeper resonance. So I asked for permission to paint inside the museum under the moonlight. And the next image reveals one of the portraits that I've painted live, looking at the sculpture. And because when you are at night, you cannot really distinguish the different shades of black, what I did was that I prepared my palette the same way that the notes are organized on a piano. You don't see a pianist playing with random, chaotic order of notes, right? Usually the deeper notes are on the left and the high notes are on the right. And it's organized on a scale. So I did exactly that as I was painting. I used chemically pure black pigments. I repeat, they're chemically pure. They were not mixed with white to give the different shades of gray. No, they are pure black pigments, as pure as I could get them, squeezed from the tube directly, no mixes. And I used those 7 pigments from darker to lighter on my palette. And as I was painting at night, I knew where to go. If I wanted the really dark, heavy shadow, I would go on the left. If I wanted a medium color, I would go in the middle. If I wanted the light black, I would go on the right. This was also a social critique. Let me explain very quickly. 2 of the lightest colors in that image have been advertised as the blackest black in the world. You heard me right. There is a company, I will not name brands because I don't want to give them publicity, but there is a company in Britain that claims that they've produced the blackest black in acrylic paint. Do you know what color that is? Get ready. It's not the palest, but it's the second palest. They say this is the blackest black in the world. Now, we live in an age of marketing, and fakery, publicity, and illusion became much more important than reality itself. I believe humanity was always like that, by the way. I don't think this is only a 21st century problem. Illusion is always more important than reality. Why do you think social media is so impactful? It's because people can escape reality. Why do you think Bollywood films are so popular? People escape reality. So the need to escape reality is a human need. I'm not really criticizing that. What I am criticizing is the fakery, where you are selling a product based on false advertisement. This portrait painted with, I believe, 7 shades of black, and I used the blackest black in the world as the lightest light. The irony. That represents better what you see in reality. So the image is almost invisible. And because it's almost invisible, it creates a very ghostly feeling. The public was quite mesmerized because initially they couldn't see any painting as they would enter the room. People are quite distracted, you know. And then when they would look, which usually takes about 5 minutes, when they finally look, they're like, oh, there's a face. There's not only a face, there's actually many animals, which maybe you didn't notice, but all around the head of the Exiled, I painted dozens of symbols that represent his thoughts. Go and have a look in the future, okay? And try to find images inside the painting. I called this the non-Instagrammable series. I started then creating a series of paintings that photograph very badly on purpose. I'm trying to fight back. You cannot fight it back. It's here to stay. But this disease of social media is now creating the illusion that you don't even need to look at real paintings anymore. You can see them on your phone. And that kind of artistic illiteracy. Because actually every single good painting, really good painting, usually photographs badly. This is something I've noticed in art museums. The better a piece of art, usually the worse it photographs, and vice versa. Bad art photographs beautifully, and it's iconic on the phone. Those visitors actually are struggling to take a good photo of the black paintings because they photograph really badly. And then I enjoyed this idea that I would have thousands of people visiting my exhibition, but almost no mentions on the internet. Why? Because it's non-photographable. It looks terrible. So people were not posting my paintings on Instagram. They were not posting my paintings on Facebook because they look awful.